be joining. Oh, there he is.
Yes. Oh, there's Alan. Okay.
Dee, it's very good to see you. I appreciate this. I see your name all the time, but I don't think I've ever actually met you in person.
Well, it's good that you haven't seen my poster in the post office. So that's a good thing. But yeah, we've been here a while. So anyhow, yeah, we have a relatively good reputation. So
I work with Azella quite a bit.
oh, okay, all right. Well, you know what we're involved in then.
Mhm.
Yeah, right in the middle of it.
And we are ready.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Fraser Park Public Utility District meeting. This is our regular meeting for Thursday, November 13th. We are starting at 4:02 p.m. We do have an additional teleconference location. That's 5151 Knutson in Bakersfield, 93308. I believe one of our directors is there. And so we're gonna start out with our item number 1, call to order. We're gonna stand and pledge allegiance to the flag. Everyone please rise. Did you text me?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated, thank you. All right, I'm going to go on to 1B, which is roll call of directors. Director, we don't have Becky on here yet, but Director Garcia,
Here.
Director Nyman,
Here.
Director Kelly.
Here.
I believe in a bit our Director Gibson will be on. I'm Director Schoenberg, and I'll be chairing the meeting. For now, we'll move on to item 2. When Director Gibson comes on, we'll acknowledge her to go on to the minutes. Okay, item 2, discussion, vote, adjust agenda if necessary. I know we do need to adjust the agenda. We're going to be moving.
I make a motion that we move the closed session, number 11, up to, after public comments.
Okay.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, I have a motion, a second. Any issues, discussion? Roll call directors, Director Garcia.
Aye.
Director Nyman.
Aye.
Director Kelling.
Aye.
Director Gibson is currently absent. Director Schoenberg is an aye. That motion passes 4-0-0-1 absent. And so 11 will be moved up. That's our closed session. And we're going, anything else that needs to be adjusted?
I think so.
Okay, so we're moving on to there's looks like Director Gibson maybe. We're moving on to item 3, public comments. These are items that are not listed on the agenda. This is limited to 5 minutes. Thank you. Are there any public comments for items not currently on our agenda? Okay, hearing none, I'm gonna move on to item 4, 11, which is 4 now. Which is our closed.
Can you confirm Becky's on?
Is that you, Director Gibson? We need to confirm.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Okay,
Did you guys
great.
start early?
No, we started on time, but it's noted you didn't miss much yet. Just the pledge allegiance, and we moved to the closed session to now. So we're going to be going to our closed session after our public comments. So at this
I
time,
understand.
okay, thanks, Director Gibson. At this time, we're going to go into our closed session. So I'm going to make an oral announcement prior to closed session. Government Code 54957.7A, a representative of the legislative body to orally announce the items to be discussed in closed session prior to any closed session meeting. So item 11 is the only item that is currently now still on our closed sessions. Closed session pursuant to Government Code 54957, conference with legal counsel. This is regarding existing litigation. Government Code 54956.9D1, Fraser Park Public Utility District versus CNC Elite Properties LLC et al. Bergen County Superior Court, case number BCB 24 100199. So at this time, folks, we're gonna go into our closed session. I don't know how long it'll be, hopefully not long. And we will be back, shortly, hopefully. So we are going into closed session at 4:06 PM. And, we will be back, Joan and, Carlos and Deborah.
Need to ask
Whoever else.
Mark going in.
Mark, are you a part of, who are you representing?
I'm one of Alan's partners at Young Woolridge. I represent the
Perfect,
district.
okay.
Okay.
We just needed to know who you were so we could put you in closed session. Thank you.
I can vouch for him. His story checks out.
Okay, so we'll go to the closed session now. 4:06.
And we're good.
We're just wait, okay, we're going to be coming out of closed session. We're waiting for our director Gibson to be back on, but I'm gonna go ahead and read the oral announcement. Oral announcement following closed session, Government Code 54957.1A. The legislative body of any local agency shall publicly report any action taken in closed session and the vote or abstention on that action of every member present thereon. There was no reportable action taken in the closed session, and we are coming out of closed session at 4:35 PM. And I think we're still waiting for Director Gibson, but hopefully she'll be on here soon. And I'm going to backtrack in the agenda and go back to item number 4, which is where we currently are.
Gibson.
And that is, there's Director Gibson. So item 4 is the report of officers, starting with me, the president. I think everything I have to say is already in the agenda. I don't believe I did anything off agenda between the last meeting. So I don't have anything else to report. How about the vice president?
Not at this time.
Okay, how about the secretary? Step down for a second, the treasurer.
I made, one transfer from, revenue to, the, Fraser Park, Lake of the Woods planning for $1,120.34 so we could pay Lavco.
Okay, and secretary, do you have anything to report?
Nope.
Okay, and our JPIA representative, do you have anything to report?
No, I do not.
Okay, are there any questions, comments, concerns before I move on? Okay, item 5, board member initiatives. Do we have any initiatives?
Nope.
Hearing none, I'm gonna go on to item 6, manager's report. 6A, our manager is out, not feeling well. So I don't know what was on his report, but I don't know of any big things that have happened, leaks or anything. Do you know of anything that needs to be reported?
Maybe.
Okay,
So a member of the community was working on leveling a lot up on top Pine Canyon and hit one of our pipes. So there was a break there, but the guys were able to fix it. No shut off. They didn't shut off the tank or anybody's water. And they got that done, so.
Do they have to pay for that?
Not that I'm aware. I don't know that we have a way of billing anybody
Good question.
or a way of calculating that, as far as I know. But that would be a Johnny question.
and that might.
I
be-
might add some information on that after speaking with Johnny. The crew had gone out and located pipes in the area. This one happened to be one that they did not know of, so it wasn't marked. So in that, there's kind of, was he responsible or not responsible? And it was a big piece of equipment. It happened to be just a couple hours up from my house. I saw was a lot of water, but in his defense, it was not marked because it was one of those that we all have known about, heard about, cut diagonal across the lawn to get, or a lot to get to another house or something, and so therefore, I'm sure that limits
Yeah, I
it.
don't think you can hold someone responsible for something they don't know about.
Yeah,
That's just
so
my opinion, but
it's a little bit of more than just,
okay, anything else? Or if not, I'll move on to the administrative assistance report.
No, other than, it's still prudent that we get all of our training done. One of the requests that came in, it may have been for the TMF or the well aid or whatever it was I had to send the board training certificates. So it's kind of coming up, so just a suggestion still, don't forget to get it done. And that's all I have other than agenda items.
Okay.
Get her done.
First time in 20 years. or whatever. Okay. Any other questions for our administrative assistant report, administrative assistant? All right, item 7, standing committee reports, accounts payable committee.
We met, went through invoices and asked Deborah to, do checks and
We'll talk about it.
that in financial.
Okay, state update meeting committee
That's not until next week.
and the quarterly financial committee.
We met and we, found a few things that needed to be moved and Deborah moved them and all is good.
Yeah, very few items with any issue. This nitpicky stuff. Okay,
Not big anything.
so item, any questions, comments on that? Moving on to item 8, ad hoc committee reports, the planning project committee.
Have not met.
Okay, the easements and deeds committee,
We have not met.
the rate study committee,
We met a couple times and we'll talk about that, on the agenda item.
okay, the bond book committee,
We've met, got a little bit further in making the spreadsheet. We'll continue.
employee handbook committee,
We met with, the attorney and the employment and, personnel. And,
Can I speak?
yeah, go ahead.
What they basically did, they offered sort of a two option sort of agreement. They wanted to know, did we want them to work on our existing handbook? And since we had spent so much time and effort and money on it, Johnny and I thought that because we have a lot of things that pertains to us, that was a good option. The other option they offered is that they have some sort of a template that they use, and it's like a boilerplate where you change the names and blah, 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 and just the point that was made by Johnny is that they use that for everybody and just, cut and paste the words or the names that don't pertain. And I felt, and I think Johnny was the point that you're trying to make, that we have a custom written handbook that we have invested a lot in, so therefore we would want to use our copy. And because there was really just one point that we were trying to nail down, which we discussed among the three of us, said that he would even be willing to write the blurb that affects or describes what it is we're trying to lock down. And we wanted to come to the board and say, because how was that? We used their template, it was $1,800 plus $395 an hour for changes or updates. But if we used ours, it was a little bit more, but much fewer updates because we already had the bulk of our topics sort of custom made for us. And obviously, obviously or not, but we all are cognizant of the money we spend with lawyers and trying to keep that at a minimum. We want to bring that to the board and say, how do you feel about what we've done so far? And can we get a consensus on how we're approaching it?
is that on a further agenda item?
No,
No,
so we
so,
can't vote or anything. It's just, you have to. We either go with having them correct everything, or we just let Johnny write his own blurb and.
And review with us, of course, so we make sure that everything's covered.
Johnny write the blurb? I thought they would write it.
Well,
That's
here's
that's
at
what they-
$395 an hour.
They didn't wanna do that. They didn't wanna spend the money. Johnny,
All of us were money cognizant.
so Johnny just wants to write a blurb saying that he won't do what he did and,
My input was, why don't we use the same sort of verbiage when the guys are on call? they have to be within an hour or an hour and a half time of being here. I thought, why don't we use that same parameter for whether it's vacation or it's calm time, or he's still answering calls and can be here if we need him. Like he says, it's like being in his office. He's not in the field most of the time because he's not a field worker. He's the general manager. So if he can mitigate and direct traffic and handle everything and be here within an hour, then it's just like regular business. But if it surpasses that time, then he has to take a day of whatever it is, comp time or vacation. Seemed like fair, and that's what we called our field workers to for on call.
Yeah,
I thought, why not just make it a company-wide type policy?
I agree with that.
Well, likewise, and I would hate to see us use the boilerplate. We've done that in the past and
Yeah,
weren't
we never
happy
get
with
what
it,
we
and
want.
Paid a bunch of money and we ended up back with our original handbook anyway, so
Right.
I'm in agreement with everything that you've discussed so far.
So how do you feel, Terry?
Well, we have no idea what updates need to be put in the handbook. And if we do this, then we won't know.
Well, I mean,
Well,
I'm
because
saying we do the
Update.
updates,
We still
but
do
we
the
use our handbook,
they have to update it with whatever is
not
changed.
their boilerplate.
But the handbook should be pretty much up to date.
Yeah, it's 2
except
years
for-
old, less than 2 years old.
Yeah, like 2 years of, if there's
23.
any law changes. and
That's what we were talking about mostly.
Yeah,
And she said those would be minimal updates. It was just legal stuff.
right, and so I'm thinking we should do that
So let's put it on the agenda for vote for,
next week.
Director Gibson, would you like to comment on that?
No, I agree. You know, we work so hard on our handbook and it is not cookie cutter. It is ours.
cool. I think pretty much we all feel that way about our own handbook.
Yeah, so that's fine if Johnny wants to put the blurb in rather than us pay for that and us approve that, but
And
the
then
rest
we
of
just
it,
get them
we need
to
the legal
update
update. Yeah.
our own.
Yes. Okay,
Does
so.
that address
and
the
what-
update
that
for
on
you?
the agenda?
Okay, we got that, Jeff?
Yep.
Okay,
Okay,
that's
great,
all we have.
thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions or comments on that before I move on to financial business? Okay, item 9, discussion vote on accounts payable financial information. This is you, Deborah.
Okay, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
So we prepared 34 checks out of the revenue operating account for a total of $42,556.97. The extraordinary disbursements, there was a disbursement for $7,059.09 to JPIA for employee benefits. A disbursement on the primary visa of $4,561.58. A disbursement to Edison for $7,355.40. And a disbursement to Young Woolridge for $7,126. And then we had one disbursement out of planning, for $1,120.34. And that's all I have.
Okay,
Thank you. Do we have questions for Deborah? Hey,
No.
hearing none, I will entertain a motion to approve the,
I make a motion that we pay our bills.
I'll second that.
okay, a motion of seconds on the floor. Is there any discussion? All right, I'm gonna put forth a roll call vote. Director Garcia,
Aye.
Director Nyman,
Aye.
Director Kelly,
Aye.
Director Gibson,
Hi.
Director Schoenberg is an aye. That motion passes 5-0-0. And so we are paying our bills. Are there any more questions or discussion that we need on the financials? Okay, hearing none, we will go back to our agenda. And that is item 10, discussion vote on the 2025-2026 proposed budget. And I believe, Deborah, we want you to hang around just for a minute on that to see if there's anything that needs to be added to that.
Okay.
Okay, so as far as the, sales are concerned, we went with, we basically took our quarter. So we did our actual, because we're 3 months into this year already. And we multiplied it by 4. So that's how we came up with the the business and the residential sales. We left the late fees, we looked at that, plus compared it to the actual from last year. So there's really not a lot of difference in the income. Plus we also had looked at your previous budget, you know, and compared what we had before. The main one that went up significantly was the website computer services. You see it's like doubled. That has to do with not only our normal website, but we also we're paying now for the ADA compliance. And for the .gov, there's an additional like $200 and some odd a month that went into that. So that's why that one doubled. Yes. And that's the thing, a lot of these different items are significantly more because the prices have gone up.
Why are the director's fees so much more?
I think we figured that I don't remember, to be honest with you.
Cause the ad hocs looks more reasonable.
Well, because the reason why is because it's no longer under ad hoc and it's their standing committees.
Right.
So you have
The standing meetings are all under the director fee meeting.
they go under director fees number.
But they were already, we've been in standing for at least a year.
Yeah, but I don't think we figured it out.
I'm just curious, cause it's a $5,000.
Here, I still have my other stuff too, so let me.
Are we planning on getting a lot more education and training?
We also got the 218 meetings and stuff coming up. I could put those in there.
You went for $160 a year to $4,500.
What happened to my? Oh, that's not me.
Top of page 2.
What happened to my? Huh.
And then, if I can make a suggestion too, I know this is the first time anybody who's not on the ad hoc is looking at this. If you wanna look over it and then write your questions down and then we can address them since the meeting's in a week anyway. I don't know if that'll give you more time to go through it because
I mean,
this is your first look.
I have a couple. I also have some questions about the maintenance amount under distribution system.
I think that's a good suggestion. It sounds good. Fine tooth it.
What? I don't know what happened.
Anybody else? Hello? We're discussing whether we wanna take the time to go over this whole thing now, first look, as opposed to taking some time to
I'm
review
just
it.
making some suggestions so that they bring some things with them. to
For the next meeting,
Yes.
okay, so you're of the mind that we should
Just
take a little bit.
just- Yeah, quickly, not.
Yeah,
just
that's
put
too much stuff to digest right now,
Right,
yeah,
right.
okay,
Yes,
just checking.
is that,
Yeah,
agreed
no,
upon?
I, the answer I wanted, yeah.
okay, well, so those are so the items I have are the ones I mentioned so far. I wanna see what your calculations were on education and training.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll have to, hey Deborah, can you print me out later another, of the previous budget, because I seem to have misplaced it?
Tiffany has to do that.
Oh,
The 5-year?
the
Yeah,
5-year,
Yeah, I can print you on a 5-year.
because there was a lot of comparison between from what was already there and had to do with, what our actuals were.
How the changes are from the actual, so, yeah, that's. I'm just curious, that's all. You have that, those are the big ticket items that I see.
So, can I, motion?
Okay, well, I mean, I think you,
I don't think we need a motion at this point, I think we just need to.
Carry it over.
Yeah, I mean, we can look at it again in a week and it may take a couple more
Well-
times to approve, but.
I know that we have a meeting next Tuesday with, and that's the reason I insisted this come to you guys. We sent this to Jeffrey for the 218. He's going off of this budget. We meet with him next Tuesday to figure out rates, ups and downs and all arounds and whatever. So we need to know if we should go off of this
so
budget or not.
there's a couple things that I'll bring to your attention. The, one thing that hit us hard,
And page it on.
okay, on the last page, cash needs, we originally had 186,000, in there, so one of the discussions,
I'm sorry, what are you looking at?
for the CIP.
Okay.
Okay, so originally on the original budget you had for like 5 years, $186,000. A year. And we have not even been doing that, and here's the problem. And the problem that we started discussing, Jeffrey needed items that we need to work on, and we have a list from Johnny of several tanks. That basically come up to around $4 million.
Repairs and additions and
Right.
replacements?
Right, that's just repairs. And so we were figuring, to put, 400,000 a year. That'll take us 5 years to get $4 million in there to work on some of these major projects that we have to do for our system. So that is a significant increase, because we're only putting in, so that's like putting 30,000, I think it's around $30,000 a month in. And we used to put in 20,000, we're not even we're putting in $2,500 into the CIP right now. And $5,000, and then $5,000 is going into the old general, and so, I mean, at some point that has to
Change.
that's
Absolutely.
going to change. I mean, I think previously we had like 200,000 in there. Right now, I think we've got 100. What is our
170?
what do we have in there right now? We have in the we have 138,000 in there right now. So we've got, you know,
Lacking.
we're lacking to get back, which on some level, I don't think that is. We would have a fight on that, but I don't think that I think we should be putting into the CIP. Because ultimately, if you have a problem and not paying your bills, you're gonna take it from either the short-lived assets, or you're gonna take it from, you know what I'm saying? The other thing, that was the other thing, we were, suggesting putting $10,000 a month, into the SLA. So, because we have, within 5 years, we have over probably 200,000 that we're gonna need to put out, because we're gonna have to, the trucks are already 10 years old. We don't,
Our new trucks are hard to
yeah, I mean, we've already, you know, they're like 2017 or something like that. So they're already 8 years old. They're gonna have to be replaced probably in 5 years. And then part of that replacement is we're gonna have to put in infrastructure because of the mandates from the state of California. You will not be able to do, gas trucks. We're gonna have to be electric trucks. And electric trucks are probably 80,000 a piece. So even getting, three trucks alone is $240,000. And that doesn't include your infrastructure that you have to put in to charge the trucks. You'll have to put in charging stations, and that probably could cost 30 to 50,000.
Right. But it's like a delicate balance dance that you all will have to do, because if it raises the entire amount of what your customers have to pay by too much, then you'll have.
Well, yeah, but we have to, well, we have to start,
Well,
we have to start, the reason why I put that in there
Yeah,
is we have to start somewhere and see
exactly.
what it
What
does,
your bottom line is.
what our bottom line is. And so it, and how much is it gonna be raising, and then we can adjust it. If we have to adjust like the CIP down, we'll adjust it down, but the reality, when you're looking at what we need to fix, we really need to put in,
pool.
we need to get
Pool
in,
funds,
we
yes.
need to put funds in, and so we can start working on projects. So we could say, okay, we're gonna do Elm Take, that's $1 million right there. Over $1 million, okay? And then we were looking at the SLAs. The SLAs are like the trucks and the backhoe and all that stuff. So we have to start putting money into that in order to do that. Now, the other one that's significant is the salaries.
Yeah, I see that you jumped significantly on
Yes.
the operations. of their staff.
So that we can have some discussion on, but we figured currently,
In
what-
1 year, you're jumping up a third.
well, the issue comes back to what we haven't had in the budget. What we haven't budgeted for is leaks. And we were budgeting for 2 leaks a month. So basically we put in, because we have some raises that are coming up. Additional money for our guys in the field. And so, and then everyone, there's the 2% that they normally get. And then we actually took some actuals. There's extra money because Tiffany's been having to work a lot of overtime. And and also from the guys in the field. We kind of took their actual and, you know,
I'm saying it goes up a third from the actuals.
From the actuals of last year,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. So we were figuring in two leaks a month
you're saying an overtime cost.
in overtime costs,
All the overtime.
including the overtime costs of, of what they get
Every week.
for every week.
Right, but aren't our actuals reflecting that already?
Yep,
Well,
also from last year.
I mean, we can go through it again, but
So I don't wanna like do a big back and forth, I'm just saying that would be like a question I have, so I would just wanna see, and you're saying some of your calculations, so. Cause I just have a feeling we're gonna, you know, like has always happened, is, you know, it's that pie in the sky thing, we're gonna say what we need. And then we're gonna look at how much we would have to raise the rates, and it's crazy, so then we have to go back and forth and try to
well, of
balance it.
course, but we're being realistic, we're not, you know. And then I would say that I also added probably $5, you know, because at some point, you know, we may, you know, maybe it doesn't have to be in this year's budget. I guess when we look at next year's budget, we'll have to add, maybe we can take that out, that money out. But at some point, you know, we have to keep personnel that are in the field. And sometimes we have to give some extra raises, so, I put, you know, I was putting like $5 more an hour into the labor costs.
One more question on our work comp, it doubles, is that
Well, the work
because we have
the work
claims
comp-
that are gonna come in?
well, no, what the work comp is it's based on how much, it's based on your, what your employee salaries are. So you take your employee salary, and then that's a fixed cost that Deborah figures. That's why the work comp goes up.
So Deborah, that's gonna double from this previous year?
It's all on page 4.
All in one? Okay, thank you.
They went up that much? I didn't hear. Did you say something, Deborah?
Well, the figures that I gave them to use in their calculations are based on the payroll returns and experience modification that came from the state fund.
Okay. Yeah, so that's the stuff that I just see off the bat. I don't know if anybody else just sees stuff that you wanna bring out at the next meeting. So do we have that on the agenda to discuss for
To carry over to next.
okay. So for your meeting, I mean, I think we need to propose the question to the board for the meeting with the person who is doing our rate study. Does the committee, the ad hoc, go ahead and use this budget with the understanding that there may be some
There'll be
changes
yeah.
based on how much based on his calculations, and whether we can actually, whether it's even reasonable to raise the rates as high as it may go, or whether,
Right,
you know, I don't know what
right.
that'll be. So, but do we want that as a motion? Do we want the board to just kind of give an acknowledgement to go ahead and have the ad hoc discuss this, you know, go with this current budget based on, you know, with those
Without explanation, why they're doubled or why they're tripled.
And like in like the power costs, we took what the actuals
Yeah,
were
that
for
gets going
3
up.
months. And we times it by 4, and I think we added 13% because it's going up.
It keeps going.
It's going up in January, 13%.
Yeah.
So that was a huge one. And another example, like our ADP costs. Okay, we like 2 years ago, we were paying for payroll, we were paying every time you submit payroll, we were paying like $145. It went up to, it was like several
175.
months ago, it was 152. Then it went to 165, and
170.
now they've raised it again to 175. So that's where we're seeing a lot of the different costs weren't, not that you guys didn't do a good budget, because you guys did a great budget, but because of all the inflation and the tariffs and everything that's happening, things just continue to skyrocket.
Right.
And that's the problem that we're running into.
So can I get sort of an acknowledgement from the board of whether you want them to use this as the basis for next week's discussion with the rate study person, or is there anything before that? Because our meeting is gonna be after that on Thursday, so that's next Tuesday.
Right. Well, and I think that he's gonna use that, so we may have some figures. Tiffany, are we gonna have figures, from him to probably bring to the board on Thursday?
He's gonna present you with 3 different, rate structures, rate structures. One, they're all based on the 25-26. One would be almost all of the changes going into the base rate. There'll be one where there's a balance between an increase in the base rate and an increase in the variable rate, which is consumption. And then a third, which would be pretty nominal increase to the base rate, but a more significant to the consumption. So he's gonna show 3 different breakdowns to kind of see what they look like. And then at that point, yeah, you're gonna talk about the numbers, what it's looking like.
Right.
Yeah, so he's gonna present 3. They're not all locked in. You could say, hey, do something in between.
But is he
But
going
he has to have
to,
something.
not by next week, he's not gonna have, I mean, at some point, he's gonna project that out for 5 years, correct?
Probably. So right now they did 25-26. I don't know if you still plan on doing anything as a 5-year from that.
Well, I think we need, did we need to, amend the ad hoc, or do we need to create a budget ad hoc?
I thought, so that's
This
not.
was done
This was done under the rate-
solely under the rate
Under
study.
the rate study.
Because he couldn't go by
Yeah.
what the 5-year budget was. We did the 5-year budget in 2022.
Yeah, so it's off.
And so with the world the way it is,
But for grants, we absolutely need a 5-year budget, and we need to see how that looks in relationship to the numbers he's gonna give us, because he has to
Yeah.
give us a 5-year plan on, after,
Right,
for
breaking
the
up
proposition,
the rates over 5
Right.
years plus, yeah.
what the percentages of each raise are.
but
Which
I
that'll
don't-
be a later step. I think
Right.
right now he just needed to get some.
At least
paper
this to
play with.
start crunching the numbers, yeah.
Yeah, so I think eventually we are going to have an ad hoc budget,
Yeah, I agree.
but because I don't think that we should do it under the rate study.
Right. So I just need a consensus so we can give a direction to our ad hoc from the board. I can't do that since I'm chairing the meeting. A consensus on whether we're okay with this budget being presented to our rate study person And, you know, with the understanding that we're
There's no
still
one
gonna
working on it
be,
already.
yeah.
I guess.
And
Why would we not?
we spent about
Director
5 hours.
Gibson,
Hmm?
Director Gibson, do you have a comment?
No, I'm sorry, I'm just listening. Are we thinking as it is that okay with the other board members?
That's what we're looking for, not as is per se, I mean, there'll be some
Well-
movement, but to present this to the rate study person on Tuesday before we have any
Mhm.
more discussion on it next.
Oh, he already
Thursday.
has this.
He already has.
Oh, he
Yeah,
already,
you're not presenting the budget, he has. it.
That's why I'm saying that
I thought you were meeting with him Tuesday.
we are meeting with him Tuesday. He wanted a new budget because the 5-year was so unrealistic. He wanted a new budget, so that's the reason we had to give him this.
Right, but this is not
Well, it's
necessarily.
nothing set in stone,
Set in
Lisa.
stone.
No, of course
No.
not.
I
But,
just
but we
wanted-
had to have a starting
Starting
point.
point,
A starting
absolutely.
point
You've
for him.
already given it to him, then it's a moot point to give him anything, you've already.
Use what you got.
Yeah.
Just
So-
letting you know that this is what he's using.
Perfect.
For right now.
But he needs the understanding that.
He
this
does,
way-
he already knows that we
Let's bounce off one
can
at a
tweak it.
time.
Because we already told them that,
Well,
that,
We
We
need
haven't
to-
told him
need to
anything, well,
move-
hopefully.
I know, but-
We went all the way around the world, and came back to where we started from. Let
Right.
him continue to work with what he has.
That's fine, are you good with that, Director Gibson?
Yes, I agree.
Okay. So, and the other members are, so, I believe we have a consensus on that. Okay, so, moving forward, I think, Deborah, you can go ahead and,
Have the night out.
have the rest of the evening off.
thank you, Deborah.
Have a good
Thank you.
weekend.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
evening.
Bye.
Okay, and we're gonna move on to item 12, discussion vote update, and just so you know, we're trying to move things along because we're gonna lose Tiffany at 6 o'clock, so.
Losing all of us.
Moving along, yes, item 12, discussion vote update on Fraser Park Lake of the Wood Consolidation Planning Project. 12A, discussion vote review of the project timeline and budget. Is there anything we need in terms of the state update that has changed?
No, there's nothing has changed.
Okay, how about item 12B? The acquisition development of well number 9, additional booster and tank site property, certificate of compliance, blah, blah. Where are we at on the escrow?
We're done. You should have received copies of final signed deeds from Chicago Title. I talked with them yesterday and they said they had sent them to the district. And so I'm assuming that you got them, Tiffany.
We have, we have the grant
But-
deeds.
But who
Yeah.
signed it?
Well, I
Who
think
signed the final?
they
Not
grant
me.
Fraser Park, so it would be Jeff French and Emily. Good
So
point.
not only have they sent us the grant deeds, they also sent us the escrow overage. It was like a couple hundred for each escrow. So
Oh.
escrow is closed, and return the over money.
Extra fees.
Yeah. So it's done and.
Done
Yeah,
deal.
we're-
I never
Where
signed
those
any
deeds?
final paperwork that I know of, but
Where's
okay.
those deeds?
In my office, they're printed. No, they're probably mailed. I think they're mailed. Yeah, I have them in the office because they're gonna go on the fire safe.
Okay.
Is there a signatory line for Fraser Park on them?
Well, if you move on, I can.
Just wanting to know. Never came to me. Okay, well, if you could look into that, that would be wonderful, but it sounds like it's done.
So
12.
that can come off, right?
No,
it
no,
can't
'cause you
come
still
off
have
because We still have additional.
He has a
things.
certificate of compliance, online adjustment.
The.
But you can get rid of purchase and sales agreement, cause that's done.
And she already pulled it out of the closed session, so that's fine. Okay, moving on to 12C, discussion vote on LAFCO work. I noticed there's a check that we're giving them for SOI and MSR. What is that? Is it just the,
Yeah, it was the fees for the hearing and stuff, but, they emailed me and they're like, where's their money? So it was submitted in a claim, in a planning claim, but they want their money, so that's why we're paying it
That,
now.
yeah, it was a
prepayment?
prepayment, yeah.
Okay, so that'll go into a claim, Carlos.
Yeah, he already has
He
it.
already has it. Okay, great. So nothing else on that, correct? 12D, discussion vote on the memorandum of understanding. Is there anything we need to discuss this evening with Lake of the Woods?
I'd like to go back and just touch one thing on item B, Lisa, if that would be all right.
Okay, is that okay with the board?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm starting to prepare the certificate of compliance, and I think it's going to be pretty straightforward. We have all the legal descriptions. We're going to have the legal description. I think the deeds, the original deeds for Jeff and Emily as well. And I'm talking about well site 9. And so we'll need those, and I'll coordinate that with Jeff and Emily. And then we just need to turn in the recorded document, which has been recorded. That's the deed. And it also describes it has the legal description as well. So those will be turned in. And it looks to me that it's going to be pretty easy. We already have pretty much all the information. I think the only thing we have to coordinate is the original signatures on the grant deeds. And I can coordinate that. So I'll start that process with the board's permission. We'll move ahead. I don't think it looks pretty simple now that we have all the information on the property.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. I'm sorry. That's it.
Thank you. Perfect.
okay,
Go ahead.
back to item D, is there anything Lake of the Woods needs to discuss on the memorandum of understanding?
Not at this time. We'll go over it on item E.
Okay, item E, discussion vote on Lake of the Woods projects and consolidation. Go ahead. Lake of the
Okay.
Woods.
The $5 million grant water line replacement project, South Tank Line replacement SCADA. Nothing new on that. Nothing new on well 4. Nothing new on the blending station. The wells from last month dropped either 0 or up to as much as 5.5 feet, depending on which well you were looking at. From January of 2023 till now, they are up anywhere from 2 feet to 24 feet. From January of 2024, they are either down 2 feet to 9 feet. PFAS, with the updated requirements that came in on 10/29/25, PFHXA, our recent levels as of October are 4.3. Notification is 1, response is 10. We believe at this point it's just adding to our CC&Rs. We're waiting for more direction from Jesse at the state. On Page Road, we replaced a portion of our secondary main line. This line services only one house with 1 meter. We replaced it with a 2-inch, 550 feet of line with shutoff valves before doing it on the phase 3 project because of the repeated leaks, and it kept flooding customers' properties. On the MOU, our attorney is redrafting it for our board with recommendations, and we will send it over to the Fraser Park board once our board has approved the draft. That's all I got. Anybody got any questions?
I do, Joan, after the board. Excuse me. I'm deferring to the board right now. I'm sorry. I just want to make sure that I get a chance to ask.
Yes.
Go ahead, Dee.
All right. Pam added another row onto the well depth measurements. And I just asked if she could give me October 24 versus October 25 and just see how the depths have changed. And it looks like we're about 35 feet deeper than we were last year at this time. On well 1, about 33 feet deeper on well 2, I think that is. And they all vary around 20 feet to 30 feet, I'm sorry. And one of them, that would be well 6, is only 18. But I think that's just a marker to watch. I suspect that next month we'll see those measurements and those depths come up because that's a bit lower than it was last year. And so that's the only, so Joan, that is, I just wanted to make sure. And Pam, you're not on this, right? You're not on this call?
Right. Pam's not able to attend tonight. She's got a class tonight.
Oh, okay. Anyway, I just wanted to make sure I was reading that correctly, and I think Pam said I was. So I think just be good to watch it and see what happens. I expect there might be some recovery. I'm hoping there will be some recovery. That's all I have.
Okay.
Yeah, you're correct.
Thank you, Dee. Yeah, well, we have rain coming, so hopefully. Okay, so, F12F, I don't believe we have anything on claims and payouts yet, Carlos, is that correct?
Mhm.
We have our meeting next week, so he'll,
I know, I'm just double checking that he doesn't have anything he needs to discuss tonight.
Yeah, the only thing is that I hadn't submitted the forms for signature to Tiffany for claim 52, and I just did that today, so you should hopefully you can sign them today and get them back to me so I can submit it.
Okay,
Did you get that, Tiffany?
I have the forms ready.
okay, well, I'll do that after the meeting. Okay, item 13, if that's okay with everyone, discussion vote update on the FPPD meter replacement. The only reason this is still on here is for our claim. Did we get a payout on our claim?
We
Yes.
just got it. So we got the check for claim 40, so that'll be in next week's.
So if everything is okay, we'll be able to pull that off the agenda.
I will pull it off the agenda.
Okay. Great. Item 14, discussion vote on well 8 pipeline replacement project. 14A, engineering and design. Have we done additional engineering, design work on that, Dee?
Well, the plans on both are submitted. The pipeline replacement project, the whole package was submitted, I think probably, Carlos, a year ago, something like that, for a regular grant. And therefore it doesn't show up on the expedited drinking water website or portal. So we're getting that information. Thankfully, Carlos has the complete package. So we'll look at that and see if there's anything else that we can apply to well 8. We have most of the information submitted. I had a really good discussion with Jonathan today, early afternoon. And so he's just trying to get his feet on the ground. And so he will be giving me a call for any additional information that we might need. But what's really going on here, Carlos, correct me if I'm wrong. Well, what we have is a package, a very complete package for the pipeline replacement project under a regular grant. And we have a pretty much completed well 8 submittal under the expedited drinking water grant. What they want to do is they want to put the pipeline replacement project in the expedited drinking water grant. And so when they do that, there may be some environmental work that we have to do in order to combine the two. I'm sorry, I am really sick here. As some of you probably are too, got that cold. So that's what Carlos and I, and Ruben wasn't in today, so he hasn't been in for the all week, but he'll be back, I think, on Monday. And we're going to put a phone call together with Ruben and Jonathan and Carlos and I, and just kind of go through this and decide if there's additional stuff that we have to do other than the CEQA stuff that the state has indicated they want us to do to combine these two projects. So that's where we are. The design's done. So design's done and submitted. Well 8 design has been submitted to Jesse, plans and specs, and the pipeline replacement project they were submitted to Jesse a while ago and submitted to the state, and the state approved them. So those plans and specs are complete. What we're trying to do now is get this grant combination put together so we can move ahead with the financing for both of these projects under the expedited drinking water grant funding. Carlos, am I covering this correctly?
I have one question,
Yeah.
before you say anything, Carlos. I know there was a deadline that we needed to meet. And it's, not on the top of my head right now, Brahma, but, that was something that was really important that it get to them last month. Did we achieve that?
No,
You
we
were
didn't.
supposed to do that, D,
Ru-
because you had to submit it because Carlos couldn't?
Ruben talked with his superiors and got it delayed until we could work out the CEQA issues. And now Ruben is gone, so we're going to combine Ruben and Jonathan and Carlos and I and see how we combine these two different grant projects and cover it with CEQA. So our timelines are fine. And Jonathan is working on it right now. He has been told, and Ruben told me as well, this is a priority project for the state. They want to do both. So they're working through their administrative issues, and we'll find out what else we have to do and get this stuff submitted and hopefully get a grant going right after the first year.
Great, so that actually covered both 14A and B, unless there's any other questions.
Yeah, the only thing I have to say is, in speaking, when I spoke with Ruben, I had asked him what else we needed to submit, and he referred me to the letter that was sent, and it had some stuff listed on there. One was the adopted authorized representative resolution, which has been uploaded. Another one was the TMF assessment, which has been uploaded. And another one was the environmental application package, which we have to figure out, because I know that they wanted, because we had two different NOEs for those two projects, and they wanted it combined into one. So that's one thing, like Dee was talking about, we have to figure out exactly how they want that done. Then another thing is the scope of work. And I know Dee said that the scope of work was submitted for the well 8, but I don't think it includes the work for the pipeline replacement project. So that might have to be included in the scope of work, but we have to get a clarification from Jonathan or Ruben. Another thing was the self-certification form, and I don't know if that was done. Do you guys know if that was done, Lisa?
I don't.
What that is.
Well, on the letter, there's a link on there that has these listed, and then the self-certification form is basically like a questionnaire that the board or the board president would have to answer. And then your legal counsel has to also look at that because it's regarding the preliminary funding award notification.
Right, so we did that on one of, I believe, on the pipeline, but because they're combined now, we need to do it again. I haven't seen that paperwork.
Well, on the
The one that
preliminary letter, on the preliminary letter that he said that they sent out on September 18th, there's a link on there that says self-certification form. So I believe that that needs to be done again, maybe, or I don't know. We have to verify to see if that one that was done for the pipeline project suffices.
Yeah.
So we have to figure that out. And then
That was the one I had some issues with, Carlos, and we brought it in front of the board, and the board, agreed with what, remember that was that weird form that Dee thought maybe we need to write in some stuff, and then they said no.
no, that's a
and we
different one,
filled-
Lisa.
Oh, that's a different
Yeah,
one that I've never seen.
The one you're talking about is
Tax-
the name is eluding me right now, but it's
Carlos, can you make sure that Tiffany has that? I have not seen that, and
Yes,
I'm a little confused between
I'll show it
what
to
gets sent
Tiffany.
out.
If she, like I said, if she opens up the letter that was sent from State Water Resources Control Board, and it was sent to you, Lisa, it's a preliminary funding award notification. There's a list in there, and if you click on that, it'll open up the form. But and then the other thing that was supposed to be done was the final engineering report technical memo, which I believe Dee said that was done. And then the other form that needs to be done is the fiscal government agency taxpayer ID form, which is a very simple form that needs to be filled out as well and signed by the board president.
When was that letter sent, Carlos?
It was sent- The date on it is September 18th, 2025. And if you go down to where it says draft or adopted authorized representative, that's one of the things, all the things that have bullet points are what we need to submit.
And the thing that Ruben and I have been talking about is, do we need to resubmit some of those documents that have already been submitted on the other application? Or do we just copy those? Fortunately, Carlos has the whole file. So copy those and then attach those to our
Yeah, if at any time the state says, okay, we need the audited financial statements, we need the engineering contract, we need all, I can get those and upload them fairly quickly. So we just got to know exactly what they want. But when I talked to Ruben, he seemed to think that only these bullet points on the letter is what we need right now. So that's the stuff.
So the self-certification form is not something that I can just sign. It needs to go to our legal and it needs to be brought before the board.
Yeah, and there's questions that need to be answered on that.
Right, so I have not gotten that in the correct way where we bring it to the board and then where it's run by the attorney, so. How do you propose that we? Tiffany, you?
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out next week when we all meet, but none of those are extremely difficult. They're real simple. Even the one that has all the yes, no. I remember filling out one for, I believe it was well 8.
Can you print out that, because you have that on the email, you click on it?
Hopefully I do. I mean, I
Yeah.
was never sent that,
Okay,
so.
so if on Monday you don't have it, can you contact Carlos?
Yeah, I can
And-
send all these forms to her and then you guys can look over it. But it's like I said, it's fairly simple. It's ask you simple questions like
Yeah, it seems simple, but that's the one that I'm telling you that we already did once.
that's
but
not the one,
as
Lisa.
It's a different one.
Yeah, it's a
Well,
different
You're
one.
thinking of the red flag checklist. And
So
that's
I
not
don't
what
even,
he's talking
so I don't
about.
even know what this is. It hasn't gone.
Okay.
Obviously, none of us know.
Carlos, whatever we need, whatever forms that the district needs to fill out, can you please send them to Tiffany on
Yes,
Monday, and that we don't have to come in and.
But it's not normally something I just do on my own.
No, we have to,
And
We'll
it
work
says
on
it has
that,
to
I'll see
go
what
through
they
the
need,
attorney.
and then if it's just,
Well, we need to see what
we'll
it
bring
is.
back, we'll get back together next week because I'll see
Right,
what the
can we
forms are,
just
what
make
needs
sure
to
that
fill
it's
out, and
on
what
the
you need to
agenda?
sign.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
and that's
you can
something
do
to go to
this.
the attorney, get to the attorney.
You can do this as an ad hoc or something and then submit it to the board for review. And then the attorney has to look at this as well because, well, they have to write. It's kind of like when, you know how the attorney did that letter when you got the grant agreement. It's something similar to that. The attorney has to look at it.
okay.
But I'll send it to Tiffany, then you guys can look at it. Then and then if you have any questions, then we can.
Yeah, that stuff shouldn't ever just go to me, it should go to Tiffany. And it needs to be on the agenda, and it needs to be brought to the board so that I have the approval to sign stuff.
I'm not sure,
Not saying anything.
I'm not sure we need it. I think what we should do is meet with Jonathan and Ruben, right at the first of the week and make that determination so you don't have to go through all this stuff if we don't need it done. So, let's figure we'll do it. We could discuss it at the state meeting too if we wanted to, but let's find out what we really have to
We're way
do.
past 30 days, so I mean.
Yeah, Ruben has told me many, many times, and he even wrote an email to the board that date was very flexible and that we were working on it and it was okay. And so I'm not worried about that. And why am I not worried about it? Because I've been told multiple times that portion of it is fine as long as we're working on it and that we're getting the stuff submitted. So, we're fine there, and the state wants to do this. That's a really great thing. So we need to move ahead with it and get everything submitted and move ahead with this project by the doggone property, hopefully.
Well, Carlos, send the forms anyway to Tiffany so we can at least look at them. So we can see, even if we don't do anything with them.
Yeah, definitely that. I just hang on till we find out what we gotta do.
Okay, we need to move forward because we may not know how to turn off or do the things we need to do, and Tiffany's going to leave. So I'm gonna move forward, I'm just gonna take it upon myself to move to 14C, discussion vote on well 8 property acquisition. I think the only thing that needs to be said there is we're waiting on a court date in December. And we'll see where things go from there. And so if there's no other questions on 14, 15, discussion vote on the rate study.
We've already
We already talked about that.
We meet Tuesday.
Briefly. So that will be Tuesday, and then there'll be more information, yes.
I'd like to move that we table 16 and 17. Those are both Johnny brought up things and he's not here to discuss them. He'll come and carry him over to the next meeting.
I'll second that.
Okay, so we have a motion to table 16, 17 with a second. Any discussion? Roll call directors, Director Garcia.
Aye.
Director
Aye.
Nyman. Director Kelling.
Aye.
Director Gibson.
Aye.
Director Schumers and I, that motion passes. 16 and 17 are tabled until the next regular meeting.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, in December.
No.
Okay.
Yes.
Excuse
Okay.
me, board.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have to excuse myself.
Okay.
Okay.
I need to get something done. Thank you.
Okay.
I'm glad I
Thank
got
you.
to take part this much.
We'll note in the minutes that you were here until this point, and that is 5:44. Okay.
Thank you,
on
guys.
to item 8. Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much. See you next week.
What,
Item
Thank
18.
you.
On final change to .gov emails. Are we people ready for that?
No.
The only comment I wanna make, to, D and
Not everything's going.
is that, I think, you guys get, you keep sending emails to my old email address. And you need to send it to the Fraser Park
.gov.
PUD.
Right, I'm not getting
California.gov.
hardly anything at that email. I got.
Do you have that, Dee and Carlos?
Yes, I'm sure I have it. I'll get with the staff. I don't think. Anyway, I'll get with the staff, make sure that everybody changes those email addresses.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's a hassle, that's for sure.
I think until that's addressed, we can't really completely
So
move
we can move
forward.
on.
Carry it over.
Yeah, carry that over. Okay, so item 19 is the review and approval of minutes for 10/7/25, the AP Standing Committee, 10/9/25, the regular meeting, 10/21/25, also an AP Standing Committee, 10/23/25, regular state planning and project meeting.
Can you do that, Terry? There's nothing on the wall anymore.
You need to put the little thing in our books. I make a motion that we approve the minutes for the 10/7/25 AP Standing Committee, the 10/9 regular meeting, the 10/21/25 AP Standing Committee, and the 10/23/25 regular planning and project meeting,
It's up and ready.
with any of the amendments that were sent to Tiffany previous to and after the meeting, as well as any additional amendments for typos or other errors that we may not have caught or that may need to be corrected.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion, a second, any discussion? Director Garcia.
Aye.
Director Nyman.
Aye.
Director Kelly.
Aye.
Director Gibson is absent. Director Schummer is an aye. That motion passes 4-0-0, one absent. On to item 20, discussion vote on forming or dissolving ad hoc committees. We don't have enough directors for that if we wanted to, so that's probably not gonna happen right now. I don't think we need, it sounds like we need one eventually for the budget, but not
Next week we
tonight.
do it.
Okay, and item 21, discussion vote on destruction, obsolete, damaged records. We don't have any currently to worry about. Item 22, future agenda items. I think we covered all those, didn't we? Okay, so I will entertain a motion for adjournment.
I make a motion that we adjourn.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, any discussion? Roll call directors, Director Garcia.
Aye.
Director Nyman.
Aye.
Director Kelly.
Aye.
Director Gibson is absent. Director Schummer is an aye. We are adjourning this meeting at 5:47 PM. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
and I'm
ladies and
going to
gentlemen.
sign the thing I need to sign so that Tiffany can get out of here.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Oh,
everybody.
fine.
Hey, Dee, feel better. I know you're feeling under the weather, so I hope you feel better soon.
Thank you, Jim.
Then we